Hey, this is Machado from Somatics. Today I'm going to show y'all how to make an R&B, Drake sort of R&B style loop. So first things first, for these sort of loops, you like to slow it down to around 90 BPM, 80 BPM, around that range, bit of a slower tempo. And the first thing I'm going to do is start off with a simple piano progression. So I'm going to pull up Keyscape and I'm going to grab the mono dark piano. Now I'm going to lay down a pretty simple chord progression, a 1-5. Next, I'm going to add some top lines onto it. I'd like a, add a, like a sort of like a third chord here. To give it like a nice segue into the next chord. Let me do it again for the second part as well. Add a bit of a variation. And then mess around with the velocities to sort of give it a bit more flavor. Let me add a second top line for the other part of the chord progression. Now next, I'm gonna process the piano. So when it comes to stuff like this, I don't really like to put on a lot of reverb. So I would take off the reverb that comes native with the plugin. Now next, I'm gonna put on some fruity reverb, small studio, turn on the decay, the size, turn on the dry, turn up the wet, to sort of give it that roomy feel. And then put a little bit of a cassette tape, reels, to give it that old vintage feeling that you would normally hear in some of Drake's records. Then a radiator on top for some extra flavor. Turn down the treble a bit, turn up the bass. This adds a lot of warmth to it. Next, I'm gonna go on and add the pads. So for this, I'm gonna use let's say the Juno. Now for the Juno, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a custom preset that I have. Now for this, different settings that I put on for the Juno. If you want to copy them, then go ahead. But what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna mess with them a bit. So I'm gonna turn up the attack. And I'm also gonna turn off the chorus noise because it's a bit annoying. Now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna paste the chords from the piano into the chords for the Juno. And mess around with them a bit. I'll put some notes in an octave below, or mess with the form of the notes. So I'm just gonna let these hit on the 1. And to add a bit of a variation, I'm gonna assign this to a mixer channel. Then I'm gonna open up shaper box. I'm gonna go ahead and automate the panning of the pad. And along with the padding, I like to automate the volume as well, sort of like a side chain. Then next, on top of that, I like to take out some of the lows since it would clash with the other elements in the sample. Next, I'm gonna actually go back into the piano and change some things. I'm gonna make it a bit warmer, so and a bit louder as well. So I'm gonna open up Abbey Road Studio 3 Stereo, which is like a stereo plugin. It's really nice. So I'm gonna put the studio monitor thing here and put it to mid, so it's like midway. Then I'm gonna go back into the reverb and mess with the dry knob and the wet knob. And mess with the MIDI a bit. I'll do a little bit of syncopation. Alright, so now we have the pads and the keys, two of the main elements when it comes to making these sort of like Drake RnB sort of loops. Now we're gonna go ahead and add another pad on top of that. So I'm gonna pull up this custom pad that I made. It's basically just like a one shot that I put into the emulator 2V. Really fire synth. You can put in your own custom one shots, mess around with that sort of jazz. So in TLDR, I just put sort of like a loop, put a filter on it, turn up the resonance a lot, put some LFO delay, and I came up with this sound. I also mess with the attack and the sustain as well, so I'm just gonna go ahead and edit this preset a bit. Maybe stretch out the looping time. Maybe turn up the attack. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead, send that to a mixer channel, and I'm gonna go back and paste the chords from the Juno pad into the emulator. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mess around with these chords. Probably do something like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing that I did with the pad. I'm gonna grab shaper box, open up the pan it left to right. Then I'm gonna go to the volume, choose this setting, the half setting. Then as well, I'm gonna grab the filter and I'm just gonna choose the ramp down filter, and it's gonna be every bar. I like to mess around with the mix as well, so something around 50% around there seems nice. Maybe turn it up a bit, and then maybe some phase mistress to add a bit of that phasey sort of like sound ish. Now I'm gonna play what we have so far. Now the pads stand out a bit too much, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back and edit this. So maybe turn it down a bit. So I just pitched it down an octave. I'm gonna turn it down a bit. I'm gonna play this with the piano to get a better understanding of it, since the piano needs to stand out a bit more. Let me turn turn up the piano a bit. You can hear there's a bit of a distortion here. I think that's coming from the reels. Yeah. Alright, so now that I adjusted the piano a bit, I'm gonna play it together with the pad, the two pads, and see how it sounds. No, you know, I'm gonna take off the reels and leave that till the end where everything comes into play. So next, I'm gonna add a bit of extra elements to this. So I'm gonna open up Contact and go ahead and open up Lo-Fi Glow. Really nice library, has some really cool sounds. So I'm gonna sort through and find one that I like. So I found this really nice sound, rotary drops. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this sound. Now I'm gonna go ahead and adjust some of the parameters on this bank. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn down the delay, because since there isn't really any, as far as I know, you can't really sync delay to the BPM of the project. So I'm gonna turn that down. And I'm also gonna go ahead and turn down the noise as well, the bit crushing, saturation, you know, all of that. And I'm gonna turn up the filter a bit. Now the balance knob is controls which sound is coming through the most, so I'm just gonna carry it all the way to the left so that sound A is coming through the most. So now I have like a completely dry sound. I'm gonna go ahead, put that to a mixer channel, and add some effects with it. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some reverb. You know, it's always important to have these sort of like weird spacey textures in it. Go ahead and add some delay as well. Put it to around time 2, and cut it to like here. Turn up the volume a bit. Go back and adjust the reverb a bit. Mess with the dry and wet knob. And I always like to turn down the size of the room that the reverb is in to like really small, because big reverbs don't really work for these sort of these types of loops, in my opinion. I'm also gonna go ahead and add some primal tap, hash it out, mess around with the multiply settings, probably like 4x. Yeah, something like that. I think I'm gonna add a bit more delay. So let me put it to here instead, time 3 on the time thing. I'm gonna go ahead and take out some of the lows as well. I'm gonna go ahead and add a bit more delay, since I kind of want the delay to like well, what would you call it? I would sort of like want the delay to spread out a bit more, and a bit of automation on top. Not a lot, just some slight automation. So I'm gonna put on some filter, and I'm gonna pan it as well. Except I'm gonna put it to the half thing and carry it on the mix. Alright, so next I'm gonna go ahead and add some counter melodies on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the SEM V2, really cool synth, you know, from the Arturia collection, synth collection, or whatever, Analog Lab 5. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this preset. I really love this preset. It's called the Laptop Yukon preset from Loophole 2. Now I'm gonna go ahead and adjust some things with this preset. So I'm gonna turn up the attack turn up the sustain, the decay, and the sustain. So you're gonna go ahead and have this result. This is what you would have. I'm gonna go ahead route this to a channel. I'm gonna lay down a counter melody. Alright, so now that I laid down this corner melody, I'm gonna go ahead and add some extra effects to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some shaper box, but I'm gonna mess with the filtering a bit. So instead of choosing the normal ramp down, I'm gonna choose the sine wave one. I'm gonna put it to 1/4. So this is how it would sound. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pan it. And add some delay to it as well. So the same delay that I put for all of the other elements within it. So now that I have that, I'm gonna play everything that I have together. Alright, so next I'm gonna go ahead and add the bass. So I'm gonna go back up, open up Contact, and grab this RnB Rickenbacker bass. I like to use the palm muted thing, whatever you call it, instrument. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the amp, this little thing here, because in my opinion, just having the bass dry like that doesn't really sound as good. So I'm gonna go ahead and route that to a mixer channel. I'm gonna grab the MIDI from the piano, and we're gonna try and replicate the movement of a real bass. So let me lay down the MIDI pattern right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that with the piano and see how that sounds. I'm gonna go ahead and pitch that down. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and add some extra sort of like effects sort of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my personal one-shot kit and sort through it and find something that I like. And I'm gonna go ahead reverse it, and I'm gonna mess with the envelope. Probably I'm gonna turn up the attack, go to length, adjust the length of it. I'm gonna put down some MIDI. Alright, so I just laid on this pan. Now I'm gonna go ahead, put this to the mixer channel, then put some reverb on it because it's a bit dry since it's a one shot. So I'm gonna put some reverb, small studio, mess with the knob, then go and put some delay on it. Stereo effect, some regular delay, turn down the cut, turn up the volume. Alright, now next I'm gonna grab a sort of like plug sound, put on top of it. So like plug accent sound. So I'm gonna use this and use this as an accent. So I'm gonna put this to a mixer channel and then do the same like I did for the other one. Put some reverb, small studio, turn on the dry, turn up the wet. Take off some of the lows in the reverb as well. Add some delay. I'm not changing anything, and I'm just gonna mess with the knob. And I'm also gonna go ahead and open up Primal tab and grab probably like the spring chorus reverb. So that's it. There you have it. How to make Drake R&B sort of style loops. So I'm gonna go ahead and arrange this and play the full sample for you. Now I just finished arranging it, and next I'm gonna click on this sort of like white dot here. Then I'm gonna press Alt R and I'm gonna export the whatever is playing to the master, so I can have it in one file. Alright, so now that I have everything in one WAV file, I'm gonna go ahead and mess with the pitch, which is something that can add a bit of like it adds a bit more texture to the loop. So I'm gonna go ahead, push this up 5, and here is the end product. Anyway, thank you.